Today we're going to look at, on our next two pages, 21 and 22, we're going to look at combining like terms. And today's date is the 16th. All right, so if we go to those correct pages, your next two pages. Yeah. All right, so we can go ahead and label this combining like terms. Some of us may be familiar with this already, but when we're looking at like terms, so like terms, there's three things that make something a like term. So we have to have the same variable, so the same letter. We'll talk more about variables later, but just for now we have to have the same variable. We have to have the same exponent, if there are any exponents on our variable. And order doesn't matter when we're dealing with like terms. All right, so if we look at a couple examples, if we have something like, this is going to be a lot to write down, but negative 2x plus 3 minus 4x plus 5 minus 4x squared plus 11 minus 15x plus 2x squared minus 15. So something like this. Positivity if you need to get all of that down. So when we're dealing with like terms, they need to have the same variable and the same exponent with that variable. So let's take a look. I'm going to use different colors to show us. So if we look at, this one has an x with the number. So that's 1. I'm going to circle it, and when you circle, make sure you keep the sign that's in front. So this one has the negative in front. This one also has an x, and we're going to circle the sign that's in front. This one has an x, but it also has a 2 as the exponent, so it's not, they're not the same, they're not like terms. This one has an x, so this one goes with all the other x's, and those are the only ones that just have an x in front. Now if we go back to this one with the x squared, that's its own thing, keep the negative with it. And then we also have this one, this positive 2x squared. Now you'll see all the other ones are just numbers, and all the numbers are together. They're like terms as well. So when we're looking for like terms, really it's just things that are alike. So all of these are x's, so they go together. All of these are x squared, so they go together. And all of these are just integers, so all the integers stay together. We're just grouping things that are similar. So now we want to combine these, add these. If you can just add them how they are now, you're welcome to, but I like to write them together. So if we start with the x's, so we know there's a negative 2x, keep the sign that's in front. There's a negative 4x. There's also this negative 15x. So that's one group. Then we have our x squareds. We know there's this negative 4x squared and a positive 2x squared. And then we can go through all the blues, all the just integers. So we have a positive 3, a positive 5, a positive 11, and a negative 15. So we grouped all of these. I'm going to underline so we can see the grouping. So all of those are the orange ones. All of these are the blue ones. And we have all the yellow. Now when we combine, we can only combine things that are common. So think of, well, we'll talk more about that tomorrow, but we can only combine things that are common. So all of these are x's, so we can add these together, all the oranges. So negative 2, just add the numbers in front. So negative 2 and negative 4, negative 15, they're all negative, so we just add them together. 2 plus 4 is 6, 6 plus 15 is 21. So we end up with 21, and it stays negative, and keep the x. So all of those combined, in all, there are negative 21 x's. There's a negative 2x, negative 4, negative 15. Now let's combine these. We have a negative 4x squared and a plus 2x squared. we'll subtract them. We end up getting -2, and then keep what's next to it. And we'll combine all of these. 3 plus 5 is 8, plus 11 is 19, then minus 15 gives us 4, and it's a positive 4 plus 4. So now we have it simplified as much as we can, but notice how this has an x squared, and this has nothing. So we can't combine these because they're not like terms. They're different terms, unlike terms. Let's do one more together. So another one we can look at is something like x plus 2x minus 9 plus, let's use y, minus 2 minus 3x plus 2y minus 4 minus 3y. So let's group things that are like together. So this one has an x. Notice how there's no number in front of it. If there is no number in front of our variable, we can always just make it a 1. So that's just 1x now. So we have 1x. Here's another x, keep the positive, 2x. And then here's another number with an x, keep the negative in front of it, negative 3x. And that's all of our x's. Now let's look at our y's. So we have this positive y. We have this positive 2y. We also have this negative 3y. Now again, there's no number in front of this y, so we just want to add a 1. The same as 1y. And then we have just the integers. There's no variables next to them. We have a -9, we have a -2, and a -4. So we separated out our like terms. Let's rewrite it so all the like terms are together. So starting with the x's, 1x plus 2x minus 3x. Then we can do the y's. So plus 1y plus 2y. I'm just copying all of our yellows down now. Minus 3y. And then all of just the integers, the orange ones. -9, -2, and -4. So put them all together, and then again, I will underline what color they are so we can see just how we separated them. We just wrote them together. Blue. All right, so now just combine the terms that are like. So all the x's, all the y's, and all the integers. So if we combine these, 1, just add the numbers. 1 plus 2 is 3. Minus 3 ends up being really just 0x, but you'll see in a minute that we can just not even write that. Here, combine them, positive 1, positive 2, we get 3. 3 minus 3 is 0. So now we have another 0, 0y. Then these are all negative, so we'll just add them. 9 plus 2 is 11, plus 4 is 15. So we'll just get -15. Now, since there's no x's, there's no y's, we don't even have to write this. We can just write our final answer as just -15. And that can be our final answer. All right, I want you to try one over here. See how it goes. Try it on your own, and then if you get stuck, you can just do it with me. So we're going to do 4x plus y minus 3 plus 2x plus 4y minus x plus 8 plus 2y and minus 9. That's the next one we're going to try. Okay.
I started watching.
All right, so if we find our like terms, we have all of these with the x's. So we have 4x, we have this positive 2x, this negative x, keep the negative sign in front. And then we can find our other ones, everything with a y. So this positive y, keep the sign. This positive 4y, and this positive 2y. And then just all of our integers, just our constants. We'll learn about that a little bit later. But we have -3, positive 8, -9. And then we want to write these all together, and then we'll combine our like terms from there. So let's put all the x's together. 4x plus 2x minus x. Now remember, if there's just a variable, you can just put a 1 in front of it if there is no number there. So it turns into minus 1x. Then our y's, we have plus y, which again is just 1y because there's no number, plus 4y, and plus 2y. And then our variables, or our constants, sorry, minus 3, plus 8, and minus 9. So now we'll combine the like terms together. So all of our x's, 4x, 2x, and negative 1x, well, 4 plus 2 is 6, minus 1 is 5, so we're left with 5x. And then 1y plus 4y plus 2y, 1 plus 4 is 5, plus 2 is 7, so we get 7y. And then negative 3 plus 8 minus 9, well, negative 3 plus 8 gives us 5, then 5 minus 9 will get negative 4. We can't combine these because they're not like terms, so this is this expression in simplest form. Thank you.